Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here for the match preview of AC Milan against Chievo. Match that will be played tomorrow, Saturday, March the 4th at 8:45 p.m. Italian time at the San Siro. Now, before I get started with this match preview, obviously I have a few announcements to make. Just want to talk a bit about this week. It's been a very crazy week, not only for Milan, but also for me. And that is why I haven't really been able to make any videos. My apologies. I do apologize for all of this. But I will make up for it. I will be making a video later on this weekend, most probably on Sunday, to discuss about the whole situation regarding the closing, the delay, the expectations going forward, and just my personal take on the whole situation regarding this delay. If I could just add a little comment before I get started in this match preview regarding the delay. Personally, I'm just once again very disgusted. It's just, to me, it's a sign of betrayal, not only from the club, but also from the president, the people, the investors, and everyone really involved in this whole dilemma. To me, it's just unbelievable that after God knows how many months, I remember going back last May, it's almost been a year now, where we've been hearing over and over again the same thing. And to me, as professionals, as investors of such high caliber as they deem themselves to be, with such important finances going on for them, to me, it just makes no sense, as they're still not capable of finding this agreement. It just really, to me, it's all unprofessional. It's unprofessional. It's a betrayal to the club. It's a betrayal to the fans. And the whole situation, to me, is just a big mess. I will be talking about this whole mess, like I said, on Sunday. I'll be making a separate video. I don't want to confuse anyone that's coming on this video specifically for the match preview. I don't want to speak about things that are not connected to each other. So I will be making a separate video as promised to you guys. A lot of you guys have been asking me to talk about this whole thing, and I will be talking about it. But please give me until Sunday, until this whole game is done, the game against Chievo is done, and then we can move on to fresher things, to other topics. And also I want to at least wait until Sunday, because there's still some developments currently going on as we speak. So I want to have the final details before I can make that particular video. But thank you guys for your understanding. Thank you guys for sticking close to Rossoneri TV, especially during the course of this past week. I've been really busy, and unfortunately I haven't been able to make any videos for you guys. But now we are back, and we have a game to think about tomorrow. We have a game that we need to focus on and shouldn't let other distractions take over. So let's speak about this game. We are going into this game against Chievo with a very fresh mind. We are coming off a very positive result against Sassuolo, a nice win to wrap up last weekend. Even though it didn't come in the best of fashions, the win is what we needed. The win is what we got. This has pretty much been the story of Milan in the past few weeks. But what I'm happy about is that after dropping 3 points against Udinese and Sampdoria, things are starting to change. We are not playing pretty. We are not playing as we deserve to be in the Europa League or the Champions League, but we are getting the results that we need. We are 4 games unbeaten as we speak, going for a 5th against Chievo, and there's really no reason as to why we shouldn't be able to beat Chievo at home tomorrow night. Chievo is not a pushover team, that's for sure. It's not a team that, is the best team out there, but it's definitely a team that could hold their own. They could have their own message and definitely go into games to upset the opponents. We have seen this several times this season. They have beaten Lazio at their home ground a few weeks ago, and personally I've watched that game, and Lazio was completely dominating that game out of nowhere with just a few minutes before the full-time whistle. Chievo got that goal that gave them the 3 points, which in the end was a good result for us. But my point here is that Chievo is not a pushover team, and they could surprise a lot of teams in the league. And speaking about their recent form, they have won, or at least they haven't. They have only lost one game in their past five, which is exactly what Milan has done. So in terms of form, we are equal. We have 3 wins, 1 tie, and 1 loss in the past 5 games. So like I said, once again, this reconfirms my statement on Chievo that they're not a pushover team. We shouldn't take them lightly, and we definitely need to go out there to grab the 3 points. It wasn't all favorable results for us last week, of course. Lazio won their game, Atalanta won theirs as well. But the only real favorable result was Inter dropping points and losing against Roma, which momentarily puts us only 1 point behind Inter. So, as a matter of fact, we can actually pass them this weekend if we win our game and they either tie or lose theirs. I think they're playing against Cagliari. But more importantly, this could also mean, if we win this game, that we could be 4 points behind a Champions League spot. Now, I've always mentioned this personally. Yes, I'm an optimistic person, but when it comes to Champions League, simply I don't think this team is quite ready for that yet. There's teams out there like Napoli and Roma that personally I believe fully deserve their position in the standings at the moment. Atalanta is also having a very good season and surprised many people with the results that they're getting. But my point is that we're still in the hunt, not only for the Europa League, but also for the Champions League. And that is if Napoli lose their game against Roma and we win our game tomorrow against Chievo. It's still a very big season. There's still lots of games. There's still lots of possibility. But our main objective is to return to Europe. Whether it's the Champions League, whether it's the Europa League, our main mission here is to return to the Europa League. And like I said, we must not get distracted with everything else that is going around at this club. Yes, there's a lot of bad things currently going on. There's a lot of things that are going unanswered for many fans. Fans that want clarity, they want the club to come out and mention exactly what's going on in terms of the negotiations between the investors and themselves. We do have some details, but for the newcomers that just came on the live stream, I once again want to repeat that I'll be speaking all about this situation on Sunday in a separate video so that I don't confuse people that are coming specifically for the match preview today. But let's speak about the probable starting 11 tomorrow. There's not supposed to be many changes, but still, let's take a look at what it will be looking like tomorrow for Milan's starting 11. Donnarumma will be starting in net as usual. De Sciglio coming back. He's expected to start on the right. Abate did sustain an injury last game against Sassuolo to his eye. He was actually down for quite a long time. Many people thought he was only faking it, including myself, but it actually seems to be more serious than what it appeared to be last week. So Abate will not be playing in this game, and De Sciglio is expected to start on that right side. Calabria could also be another option to replace Abate in that role. Zapata and Paletta will be starting once again as the center backs. I do believe that Romagnoli is back, if I'm not mistaken. He did get called up by Montella. I will be making sure of that for you in just a moment, but it doesn't seem that Montella will be willing to risk him, or at least put him in right away into this game after missing quite a few games in the last recent weeks. And just to give you a confirmation, yes, Romagnoli has once again been called up by Montella, so he is back in the squad, but it's very unlikely at the moment that he will be starting tomorrow's game. Vangioni will be starting on the left side once again. He didn't have the best of performances, of course, in the games that he's played, but he has shown a lot of attitude, a lot of good things going forward, and hopefully his defensive role actually improves from what we have seen in those games. In terms of the midfield, we're going to see once again the same thing. That is Kuchka on the right, Jose Sosa in the middle, and Bertolacci on the left. Jose Sosa has been having a very good couple of last games, providing assists and just generally playing better than what Locatelli has done in many events this season. However, Montella did mention that he has been experimenting Jose Sosa and Locatelli playing together in the midfield. Now, personally, I'm not quite sure how he's willing, or at least thinking, to deploy that midfield with Jose Sosa and Locatelli both playing. But, you know, I think that this could be a possibility going forward to see them both getting a starting role. Also because Montolivo, there's been reports of him getting back into shape, getting back into his running form. Therefore, that might mean that his return could be very soon. Very soon. I'm not quite sure exactly when, but like I said, Montolivo's return was supposed to be sometime in late April. We might see him returning even before. So we're still going to have to see exactly how Montella wants to put these two pieces together. That is Jose Sosa and Locatelli. But as for tomorrow, this is exactly the midfield that we're expecting. And that is Kuchka, Jose Sosa, and Bertolacci. Up front, we'll be seeing Suso, Baca, and Deulofeu. Once again, no surprises up there for the attack department. Suso has been a bit quiet lately. He hasn't been in his best form. Whether it's fatigue or something else, I simply don't know. But last game, he missed 2 golden chances against Sassuolo. Chances that back a few months ago, back in November or December, Suso would have put to bed. So let's hope he regains that form that we have known him to be in. And obviously, he starts providing assists or scoring goals again. Baca finally got his goal, his long-awaited goal last game on that penalty shot, which was very debatable whether or not he double-touched that ball. But look at the replays, he did. There were lots of complaints, a lot of controversial remarks made by both Milan and Sassuolo regarding the incident. But it seems that Montella will once again be giving him the confidence to start this game. And you know, Montella is backing him up once again to build on that goal and hopefully contribute to more goals in the near future. Goals that could give Milan even more wins. Deulofeu, being one of the best players in our team in recent weeks and really since he started to play for Milan, will get that start on the left side. He's been phenomenal, and don't be surprised if Montella will once again be putting Deulofeu in a false 9 formation tomorrow, and that is maybe interchanging him with Baca. That could also be a possibility. So definitely the attack that I will personally be going for at the moment. Lapadula is coming back tomorrow. He is on the call-up list. But I'm not expecting him to get the start tomorrow. But hopefully, maybe if things are not going right for Baca, we'll be seeing him being implemented in the squad in the second half. Now, that is it, guys, for the formation. Like I said, I'm expecting good things. I don't think we should really have any major problems against Chievo. Even though they're not the most threatening side, however, we are still going to expect some hard times as we do against every team. And Chievo is definitely a team that, you know, makes life difficult for all the opponents in the Serie A. But let me know your thoughts on this game. Let me know what you guys are expecting for tomorrow. Do you think Milan will have an easy time to pick up a win and grab the 3 points? Maybe who's going to be the goal scorers? Who are you guys backing up to score tomorrow? Let me know all your thoughts on this game in the comment section. Now, not to really be mean about the whole situation, but for those of you that are going to be asking me comments regarding the closing and the delay, I'm going to repeat it once again in this video. I will be answering all of your questions in a separate video for that matter on Sunday. I will be doing a whole discussion concerning this issue, concerning the delay on Sunday. So please leave those questions for Sunday and keep your comments related to the game itself for this particular video. So let's get into the comments. Masub says, it's sad to see Baca not connect with the team. It's hard to believe how amazing he played the season before that. Yes, Baca did very, very good last season. Personally, I was surprised, and not only beforehand, but also in the present moment, because I believe that the team is better than last season, yet he's not getting the support, or maybe he's not getting that connection that he had with the team last year. He's bagged a lot of goals last year, not the same amount this year, but definitely there is a question of connection between the team and himself, which at the moment is not going well. But I hope that he gets a streak going, a streak of scoring goals on a continuous basis and not just once in the blue moon. So hopefully that goal that he scored against Sassuolo will motivate him to score more goals in the near future and give us the wins. Emil says, I think Lapadula and Deulofeu will do a great job for Milan. Deulofeu has been doing a great job for Milan since he has arrived. There's absolutely no question about it. Lapadula, we haven't seen from him for a very long time now. And like I said, if Bacca is not getting the job done tomorrow, then I am expecting to see Lapadula getting some playing time tomorrow. Hopefully, he will be coming on and making that difference. But definitely, I hope to see a bit of Lapadula tomorrow. Necklord88 says, Bacca is better with another striker playing with him. Look at his form with Sevilla. I completely agree, but I also think that the coach shouldn't be changing the formation based on one player. What I mean by this is that we all know Montella plays the 4-3-3. We have seen him change formations once in a while. We have seen sometimes him trying the 4-2-4, or there's been many reports of people wanting Montella to choose the 4-2-3-1, for example. But in my opinion, I think Montella is really fixated on this 4-3-3, which is not a bad idea. I think it could definitely work for Milan if we do get better players, players that could play in the position, in their respective positions, better than other players that are currently at the team. But the thing regarding Bacca playing with another player, with another striker next to him, I completely agree on that fact. But personally, I don't think that Montella should be changing the whole formation just because of one player not being able to adapt to a certain playing style. We all know that Montella, at least, or Bacca, definitely has problems playing in this system that is implied by Montella. But that's his job to adapt to it. I don't think that Montella, like I said, should be changing the whole formation because one player cannot adapt to his specific role. Anikat says, Gio, I can see Locatelli playing as a mezzala alongside Kuchka. I want to see him in a long ranger again. Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, Locatelli could be playing as a mezzala. That's not a problem to me. I think he has the qualities to do well there. But I also believe that Jose Sosa could play in that position. So really, it all depends on what Montella wants to imply with that team, with the midfield. But at the moment, it does seem to be that Bertolacci, Jose Sosa, and Kuchka will be the starters. Lagarto saying, I'm expecting a game where we fully dominate. Also, an easy clean sheet. The only problem will be scoring. Either the game will be ending 0-0 or 1-0. It will be a very frustrating game. I'm predicting a pretty low-scoring game myself, to be honest. But I wouldn't say that a clean sheet will come easy against Chievo. They have threats. They definitely have players that could score. And one of them, we are familiar with him, and that is Birsa. A guy that I think we gave away too early, in my opinion. But he's doing very good things at Chievo. He's doing things that maybe Milan wasn't projecting him to do at the club. But he's definitely having a good season. He's scoring the goals for Chievo, and he's one of a few threats that Chievo currently have, and we should be aware of tomorrow. They also have guys like Majorini and Inglese that could definitely make difference up front. Castro is also a good player. So I don't think a clean sheet will be coming easy. We definitely are going to have to work if we want to get the win. Abdul says, a win isn't enough against Chievo. We need to trash them to display a message to the league and to change the atmosphere surrounding the club after the horrible news of this week. I'm all for the trashings. Every time Milan plays, I hope that they trash the other team. I'm not a guy that takes things lightly, even if we're winning 3-4-0. I always want to push for more. So I'm definitely not a guy that just decides to stop after reaching a certain amount of goals. I always want more, and I hope that Milan has this mentality going forward. I would definitely like them to trash teams like Chievo or any team in general, but simply we haven't seen that from Milan for a very long time. We are playing at the San Siro, however. We need to make it our fortress tomorrow, and we need to make a big statement to the league that we are definitely in the run for an European position. Anika says, Gio, don't do Skype calls in every video. That prevents us from sharing our thoughts. The caller takes away all the time. I don't do Skype calls in every video, first of all. It's only for the live stream watch-alongs and the match review that I do those Skype calls. Whenever there is a video regarding news or previews or my personal thoughts on the story, we don't do Skype calls. I think that the Skype calls are a necessary tool to have on this channel, as it brings further interaction for the viewers and also for the people that want to share their thoughts by voice. And I think voice definitely makes a stronger statement than words. So it's definitely not a concept that I do in every video. There's certain videos that I do imply it, but there's also, for example, in the watch-alongs, it's not like we have Skype calls throughout the whole video. The watch-alongs are 2 hours and a half long, and you guys can leave your comments throughout the entire video, and I do read a lot of those comments throughout the entire watch-along. So it's definitely not a concept that I agree on there. Pickflix Production says Baka's not had a convincing performance since he scored his hat-trick in the first day. I hate watching him play. At least when Lapadula played, it wasn't interesting, as opposed to just watching Baka being marked 24/7. I couldn't agree with that comment more. I definitely agree with what you said there. I remember that hat-trick that he scored against Torino in the first match. I was very happy. I thought that this season was going to be an amazing one for Baka, but it's been far from that. Yes, he's been getting the goals, but I just don't like his involvement in the team. And like you said, the opposition really gangs up on him in terms of marking him, whereas Lapadula always tries to find some free space, and more times than not, he always has a way of breaking through on goal. Pickflix also says, I know what I'm going to get from Baka exactly every game. He sounds around like a statue and gets subbed off at the 87th minute when we're losing. Masoub says, Lapadula hustles, and this is what makes him an interesting player to watch. He's more likely to create chances simply because of the activity off the ball. He does need to work on his finishing. I agree on that. I think that Lapadula, like I mentioned before, finds himself the space. He works a lot off the ball, making runs and so forth, where Baka instead has a very static presence in the game. And unfortunately, that is very easy to defend against. And I think that's exactly the problem that Baka currently has. Lapadula doesn't have that problem, but I do agree that he needs to work on his finishing. He's had some pretty good chances when he's been given the chance in a few weeks ago, but unfortunately he wasn't able to score those chances. So yes, I do agree his finishing needs to improve. Safe says it's sad to see that players like Deulofeu are going to leave at the end. What do you think, Gio? I think that, yes, we don't have a buyout option on Deulofeu, but I still believe that we could maybe negotiate. This all depends really on the player's will. I read a report actually a few weeks ago coming from his agent saying that Deulofeu's will, if it is to stay at Milan, then definitely that could influence Everton's decision of keeping him. So personally, I don't think it's all done and said regarding him leaving officially at the end of the season. I think that there's still something to negotiate here, but really it all depends on how Deulofeu continues in terms of his form from now on until the end, and what he could really show to the club in terms of willingness to stay to get the club in a very far position, at least either in the league or in Europe. Zanaki also says the 4-3-3 is good, but we need to get rid of Bacca and get Belotti. Not sure if we're going to get Belotti, but we definitely need some other striker that could bag in the goals, for sure. Clayton says, if Bacca can't adapt, we have problems to score, and if we don't score, how can we win the game? Montella should try to change, if not the formation, the idea of how we attack everyone and can benefit from him. Yes, okay, I understand that, but the thing about Bacca, it's not about really changing the formation or the idea. It's his mindset. It's his playing style. That's how he plays. He's not a guy that will be making movements off the ball very often to try to find those open spaces, to get the ball easier and create chances himself. He's not that type of player. So I don't really think it's the way or the idea of changing the way we attack in our games, because yes, we are predictable going through those wings. I do agree on that. But lately, I have seen some more action going from the middle. It's just the fact that he's too static of a player, and unfortunately that facilitates the defense task when it comes to defending against him. So really, it all makes it way too easy for the defense if you're playing with that specific mindset, with that specific characteristic. Big Flick says a shitty player like Zapata has one good game this season and he gets a run of starts. Lapadula has several and you can't make it into the team. Yes, I mean, that's definitely a good point to make. Zapata, I don't think he's really been getting a run of starts, because if you consider it, yes, he started last game, but before that, Gustavo Gomez was definitely getting a lot of the starts instead. But I think there's a whole other philosophy when speaking about Bacca and Lapadula. I don't know if it has to do with the wages, but you also have to consider that the only reason why Zapata's playing is because Romagnoli is injured. He's coming back this game, yes, and we are expecting him to see Romagnoli again very soon, but don't expect Zapata to make any more starts after Romagnoli's back. On the other hand, Bacca, a guy that is not injured and he's still present, Montella wants to push with this idea of playing Bacca instead of Lapadula. You see what I'm trying to get here? I think that the whole reason why Zapata was even getting the chance to play is because Romagnoli was injured. If Romagnoli was never injured, Zapata wouldn't see the light of day at Milan. That's pretty much my opinion on that. Also, Electrical Drift saying, hey Gio, you think Milan will use a 4-4-2 Lapadula Cutone attack? Locatelli and Kuchka in the midfield, Deulofeu and Suso wingers, Romagnoli and Zapata center backs, Calabria and Antonelli wing backs. Definitely a formation that I would be trying on FIFA. I think that's very nice to see. We have a lot of attacking options like that. But personally, I don't think that Montella will be employing that specific formation anytime soon, especially with those players. I don't see him having the idea of fielding Lapadula and Cutone in Serie A games where it counts and you cannot take any risks. Definitely, I would be starting Lapadula, but to start Cutone, I simply don't think that that's an idea that Montella is currently holding on to. But definitely nice formation to try on FIFA. That is definitely something that I would be wanting to try. Leo Bisoletti says, did you hear about the Curva Sud protesting and the sale at tomorrow's game? Yes, I heard about that. Like I said, once again, a reminder before I sign off, I'll be speaking all about the delay, my thoughts on the whole situation on Sunday in a separate video. So make sure you guys tune in for that on Sunday. I will be giving you the exact time and precision on this event later on tomorrow or maybe early Sunday morning. But make sure to stay tuned to the channel to stay updated with all of that. Without further ado, tomorrow, of course, we will be having the live stream watch along. That will be taking place 30 minutes before kickoff, and it will run through the entire game. After that, it will be followed by the match review, And we might be expecting some surprises throughout the live stream watch along. I can't say much yet, but if you guys were watching last week's watch along, then you'll know, or maybe we'll have an idea of what we could expect. But that's all for now. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for those videos. Thank you guys once again for the patience that you had this week, where I wasn't posting videos due to me being busy, but I am back making videos. So thank you guys for that patience. Don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything going on at Milan, and also leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. This has been Gio signing off, Rossoneri TV, and as always, Forza Milan.